Hey guys, what is up? So today we are revisiting The Goonies, which happens to be one of my favorite films from my youth. Um, if you've never seen this film, I don't know where you've been. But again, like I said, so this is one of my favorite films growing up. Um, it's an '80s teen adventure, teen comedy. Um, and these are like young stars who grow up to be actually people who are like some A-listers and then some people who left show business. So I grow. Let's let's start all over. A group of young misfits called the Goonies discover an ancient map and set out on an adventure to find a legendary pirate's long lost treasure. So, as I was saying, these are young stars who either grow up to make it big in show business or have left show business. Um, yeah. So we got Sean Astin, who plays Mikey, Josh Brolin, who plays Bran, Jeff Cohen, who plays Chunk. He is one of those people I mentioned who left Hollywood. I think he's actually a celebrity lawyer. I think that's what happened in his career. Corey Feldman, who plays Mouth. Now he was one of those rising stars from the '80s. He was like in a lot of like '80 um like childhood um I think like two for sure Steven Spielberg films, and then growing up being in I think it was two um um Friday the 13th films, and then um after the 80s, don't know. I really don't know what happened to him. I know he had been in some films like later in life, but didn't really amount to anything. Um, you have Carrie Green who plays Andy, Martha Plimpton who plays Steph, Ki Huey Kwan plays Data. Now again, he was one of those people as a childhood actor. I think he was like in two Steven Spielberg films, and kind of just died out. And then all of a sudden, when he's an adult, he started to like kind of, I don't know, re repopulate somehow. That's not the right word I want to use, but like he's around again, you know. So congratulations to him. Um, John Matsukaki. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but he plays Sloth. He died. Robert Davi plays Jake. Joe Pantaloni plays Francis. Anne Ramsey plays Mama Fratelli. She also died. Lupe Ontervos plays Rosalita. Mary Ellen Trainer plays Mrs. Walsh. And yeah, other people kind of don't really matter. But anyway, so as I stated, there are these young teens, group of young misfits, um, who are out on a voyage, if you will, quest to find this lost treasure, so they can help save their house. Now they go up in their attic, right? And there's a lot of like old like from like old maps to like artwork to like stuff from pirate type stuff. And again, they come across this map, and um this kind of a guide, if you will, to help them figure out where they should go to figure out where said treasure might be, right? Um so it is a voyage, it is a quest, and they do come across the Fratellis. Um the the four kids, who is Mikey, Chunk, Mouth, and Data, they're the ones who kind of like start off on this voyage. Then Brand, who is the brother to Mikey, goes off to find him. And then Andy and Steph follow up behind them to see what they're up to as well. And so, therefore, those are the main Goonies. And Goonies never say die. That's one of the taglines in the film. And yeah, so once the Fratellis leave their like hideout, they do go and search the place. They find like this what looks to be like a fireplace, or like a little where you would put wood, but the wood and stuff isn't real. So they move it out, and then there therefore like is where you can go underneath, and then there's like a whole like pathway, if you will, and they search that, and then therefore sets their voyage, and yeah, and then eventually the Fratellis are not too far behind them, because Chunk gets left behind because he's supposed to like find the police and tell them that the Fratellis are up to no good. And but he doesn't get a hold of the police just yet. He finds the Fratellis, and then the Fratellis hold them him hostage, and it's just like tell me everything, or tell us everything, blah blah blah. And yeah, so like I said, after that, then Chunk gets locked up with Sloth. They become good friends. And then they themselves go hunting their friends as well as the Fratellis. And yeah, long story short, they do end up finding the pirate ship, but there is a lot of booby traps along the way. And yeah, so great movie. I still love this movie to this day. I think it's such a great like family film, especially like during the 80s when you didn't have like today's technology. This is like something like you would do um when you're a kid. You go to the movies, and this would be one of those movies you would have seen in the 80s. um this was came out in 1985. Because I'm not their age, how old was I? I was 3 years old. So I didn't watch this movie until I was like maybe 7 or 8. Yeah. But again, still, I love the movie. and it's one of my favorite Steven Spielberg films. I have a lot of favorite Steven Spielberg films, but this is right up there along with like the what is it? I like Jaws. I like the Gremlins, both of them, one and two. Raiders of the Lost Ark. What did I say? Raiders of the Lost Ark. Lord, I can't talk today. But yeah, huge Steven Spielberg fan. Oh yeah, I can't forget about E.T., right? But yeah, anyway, so let's see what reviewers say since IMDb was not around during the 80s. So let's see. Reviewers say that The Goonies remains an enduring classic with an exceptional, rewatchable, and cross generational appeal, serving as a nostalgic time capsule that captivates families and young audiences alike. The praise of energetic performances, particularly Anne Ramsey and the young ensemble cast, along with Richard Donner's emotionally effective direction. However, reviewers criticize the one dimensional characters, excessive shouting and overlapping dialogue, and inconsistent writing. While engagement levels divide audiences, most agree it stands to the test of time as a defining 1980s adventure film. So let's start out. Let's start out on top, shall we? 10 out of 10. Fun, fun, fun. But first, you have to do the truffle shuffle. If you don't know what the truffle shuffle is, you gotta watch the film, okay? Treasure hunts. Who doesn't remember digging under the porch and creek beds, hollow out logs, etc. to find the buried treasures you just know it's hidden there somewhere? The Goonies is a fun-filled ride right back into our youth where treasures hunts are no longer a thing of the past. I absolutely love this movie. It was just so much fun to watch when I was a kid, and just as much fun when I watched it again as an adult with my kids. Of course, this movie has moments of predictability, and no, the villains aren't all the that intimidating. They're actually quite moronic, but the only adds of to charm of this movie as well as a comedic value. Although there are lessons peppered in don't judge by appearances, right versus wrong. Overall, The Goonies is a wonderful exploration of childhood friendships and imaginations. From Data and his many scientific creations to One Eyed Willie and his pirate ship. There isn't a character in this movie that I didn't fully enjoy watching. You have the dim-witted, evil Fratelli's heavyset, melodramatic chunk Data with his booby traps, and that's why I said booby traps galore. The odd-looking but lovable sloth and Mouth with his mouth. Those are only a few. There are many more, and I love uh, a lot of great lines come from a movie, along with memorable moments like the Truffle Shuffle. I've seen The Goonies about 100 times and I still enjoy watching it over and over again. This is absolutely a pure, fun filled movie to enjoy with your kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, or simply by yourself. Hang on, enjoy the ride. The Goonies earns a solid 5 out of 5 star. Yeah, I pretty much agree with that. I mean, like I said, this is why I do my rewatch series. I go back and rewatch things and to see if I still like it to this day. Um, there are movies that don't age well, but look, because it's from the 80s does not mean a thing. Um, I still I still enjoy it. Is it like a perfect movie? No. But when you're from the 80s, like you think this is pure magic. You think it's pure gold. And yeah, I mean, again, like somebody watching it today, I honestly I can't say if they would like it. I don't know. But because I am from the 80s, I've loved this film and again, still do. So, moving on. This one gets a 6 out of 10. Apparently they watched this and reviewed it on October 30th, 2023. Seems like a weird time to watch this movie, but hey, back in the 80s, I've seen this film and for decades I remembered it as a entertaining but also chaotic. Recently I watched it on a streaming service and found it's still chaotic but not as entertaining. What bothers somebody don't know how to write. I think they were trying to say what bothers me, but they didn't put me. What bothers the most is that it's loud. The characters don't talk; they shout, and the conversations are nearly always interruptions and multiple persons shouting, talking at the same time. Very tiresome. I am definitely too old for this movie, but for children, it still can be entertaining and captivating. It is a adventurous tale of treasure hunting, villains, and little heroes. But turn the volume down when watching. Jeez, how old are you? Look, I can agree. Like it can be loud because there is a lot of shouting, but you have to remember, there is a lot of this portion of this movie where they're underground, so maybe they couldn't hear, and so that might be the direction. Like, oh, we have to yell, we have to shout. I don't know. Um, Now I will say for like someone like Chunk, I think he's just loud in general. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened, but I still enjoy it no matter what. This one gives it a 7 out of 10. 80s adventure flick revives childhood memories. Oh, so they watched this in 1999. Okay. The first time I saw the Goonies was at a friend's house right when it was a new release on a video. After the best times I had in my life watching it, the friend established a Goonies club for the fun of it. Perhaps your past childhood memories would have been the same too. While the movie is a tad heavy on the stupid foul jokes, it does have the imagination of willing to track around for some perilous adventures plus a few spooks. There possibly has never possibly was never a movie like this providing tons of fun and laughter during the time. The characters and their personalities were most original, including Data and his supply of gadgets, and Chunk with his obese but likable image. Love that truffle shuffle. But Sloth easily stole the show with his own likable personality, a goon with the weirdest face I've ever seen in my life. Just think of how fun it is to discover lost treasure when you know it's only fantasy. Four key things come to mind with the Goonies: pirate ships, teenagers, the Fratellis, and Cindy Lauper. Yes, Cindy Lauper. Um, they actually good enough and they go together in this memorable journey. Kudos to Richard Donner for bringing me and the movie that I've seen over 100 times and never stop enjoying. After all these years, I'm still waiting for a sequel. Hit puree. Okay. This one. gives it an 8 out of 10. Kids from the 80s will list this film as one of their favorite films. You heard it here first. I first saw this in the late 80s on a VHS, revisited it recently. Only kids from the 80s will appreciate this film. COS? Maybe it's nostalgic. Okay. Bicycling around in the neighborhood, working out with a bull worker, etc. A bunch of kids attempt to save their homes from foreclosure, and in doing so, they discover an old treasure map that takes them on a perilous journey. And during the journey, they also are chased by a family of criminals. The Walsh family house is a real home and has a lovely picturesque look. Mama Fratelli running around is hilarious. The setting of Astoria, Oregon is seen and very pleasant. And this was reviewed in 2020. While also like talking about this, I've seen like some YouTube videos where people go and see like where movies were filmed where they look like then versus now. I've always wanted to do that. I don't know. Maybe soon I'll be able to do that. Who knows? Okay, let's see. Did I see this one yet already? Okay. 7 out of 10. It says too childish for adults, yet too adult for children. Perhaps that's why it was so loved in the first place. One of the quintessential 80s films, The Goonies, in 1985, is an entertaining ride that's certainly funny at times, but does suffer from some slightly odd tonal shifts. One moment, some gangsters are literally about to bend a child's hand, and the next, a screaming, deformed man is swinging in on a rope wearing a Superman shirt and suspenders. It's this weird mix of the oddly serious and almost sinister, including a number of dead bodies, with the slapstick sometimes downright silly, and the sentimental that hinders the flick just a bit. It's too childish for adults, yet too adult for children. Perhaps, however, that's why I was so loved in the first place. It has its issues, sure, but it's always enjoyable and has a palatable energy to it. It's a fun adventure from the start to finish. 7 out of 10. Okay, is that it? Okay, so that's it. All the reviews. So yeah, again, so for me, again, love this movie. I've always loved this movie. I've seen it so many times. And again, since didn't have anything to like watch new, I don't know. I think maybe Thursdays I might choose to do like a throwback Thursday, go back and watch something that I've seen several times and say, how do I feel about this movie now? And do that. So for me, I think I'm going to give this like an 8.5, maybe 9 out of 10. But yeah, love this movie. Huge Steven Spielberg fan. And if you've seen this film, which I don't know why you would not have, let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. And what is one of your favorite scenes and or characters from the movie? Let me know. Please click subscribe if you haven't already, and also click the like button. Thank you. See you next time. Mwah.